You know I edit this, so I can
know.
keep it out there. Okay, we're back for another episode of Millennial Lessons. I'm lemusita.
And I'm channycorzine.
Yeah, and this is a little show. We're going to call it a show, not a podcast, because not everybody knows what a podcast means.
Right, and I think we're getting more views on the video than we are the podcast.
So
there is a podcast of it on iTunes.
We're just going to call it a show. Okay, this is a show where the young guy teaches the old guy how things work in the world today.
Yes, and I'm excited about this episode.
Because what are we talking about today?
We're talking about words. And what's awesome is that you might not know, but this man, his real name is actually Dr. Lemuel Benjamin Usita.
Yeah, thanks for putting that out there in the world.
You're welcome. And part of his study is the study of words and how they create worlds. And so I'm going to help Sensei over here understand millennial worlds in this world today.
Okay. And so today we're going to talk about,
worlds,
like you said,
yeah.
Words. We're going to talk about words.
Words.
And words that create worlds.
Amen.
Okay, so the first, so I have I have questions. I've heard words that I have no idea what they mean. So I was hanging out with my nephew. He's 11. And he kept saying the word yeet.
Yeet.
Yeah, and like, I don't know the
man.
context.
It's the stupidest word of all time.
Of the word yeet or when to say it. So, first of all, should I be saying yeet? No. First of all, tell me what it means. Should I be saying it? And then tell me when.
Okay, great. So the word yeet is probably the stupidest word of all time. Okay. I wouldn't even say it's...
He kept saying it, though.
It's not so much a millennial word as it is a Gen Z word.
Okay.
But, like, it's still apparent. You know, like, millennials still know
millennial
what it means.
lessons.
Yeah. And so, yeet is actually, like, started through, like, hip-hop culture, like, with dance moves. It was, yeet. And it was, like, kind of a dance move at one point. And it was made famous through something called a meme. You know what I mean.
I know what it means.
And so it was made famous, and then it kind of died off for a while, and then out of nowhere, it just came back to life. And so basically, what yeet means is do you remember? Were you around when the word swerve was popular?
No.
Do you know what swerve means?
I don't know what swerve
It basically means no thanks.
Swerve. Okay.
Yeah. So like swerve means no thanks. Yeet means no thanks. Like, so yeah, just think about like yeet. Like, you're going around something, you're throwing something, you're getting something out of the way. So it's kind of like, oh, man, I got so much homework to do. Like, my future, like, it sucks. Yeet, you know? Like, it's like I'm just throwing my future out the window.
You're going to avoid it? You're going to just go around it?
Avoid it, go around it, get rid of it.
Is that like a sound?
Yeah, it's more so of like a sound and an action. That is words. Most of the time when people say yeet, they'll, like, do some kind of, like, body movement. We have a student in our ministry, Alexander Shahan.
Okay.
Who says yeet so much that I would love to just yeet him into a trash can.
Okay.
Because of how obnoxious he is with it.
So it's an onomatopoeia.
Sure, man. Whatever that means.
A formation of a word with a sound associated with what is named.
The only thing I know about onomatopoeia is Childish Gambino when he goes, ear, onomatopoeia. It's in one of his rap songs. Anyways.
So an onomatopoeia is like a sound that... A word like
a word that makes a sound.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Swerve.
Yes.
All right.
So what has happened in this weird transition? I said yeet to that recording and accidentally cut us off. And so we're gonna move on to our next word. Before we do that, word from our sponsors, Dark Horse Coffee Roasters and
Cheers.
Crate and Barrel. So the next word that we want to talk about is this word woke.
Yes.
And so Lim knows what woke is. Woke
kind of, because okay, here's my experience of it.
Yes.
Most of the time when I hear it, how shall I say this? Most of the time I hear the word woke.
Just say it, man. I know what you're gonna say. Just say it.
It's only certain kind of person.
White people say woke. White people say woke to pretend like they can engage with what's happening in the world today. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. That's what I'm trying to say. So what does that word mean?
Woke started great. Like, woke had great intention and great meaning. And it was a phrase that was about empowerment and about understanding and about the absence of ignorance, essentially.
You're awakened to something.
Right,
You're
exactly.
awakened. You have a higher level of consciousness.
Yes, you are aware. You are present. Okay. Woke. And what happened is it just became a blanket word for. I'll say it. I'm white, so I can say this. It just became a blanket word for white people to throw out so that they could just pretend like they were culturally relevant.
Yeah, you know that sentiment that if you're cool, you don't really have to say you're cool.
Exactly.
If you're
woke, you're not walking around saying
walking around saying it. Yeah.
If you're woke, it's your actions, not what you try and tell people. So Lim and I were at a conference a couple months back, and there was a wonderful woman. Her name's Kanisha Warren.
Warren, look her up.
She works at Seattle Pacific University. Go Falcons. Just got accepted there for grad school. I didn't even tell you yet.
Oh, there you go. Thanks. Congratulations.
Yeah, I can't afford it. And so Kanisha explained it, and I might butcher this, but the general gist of what she said is that the phrase, the term, the concept, the action of woke essentially is understanding who you are and how who you are intersects with what is happening in our world and in culture today.
Okay.
So for me, being woke as a white, heterosexual, middle-class Christian male, I have to understand, claim, know my privilege. And I know that I have certain privilege as a white, heterosexual Christian male in this world that say someone of the same age but opposite gender and of a different race or ethnicity won't have, or sexual orientation.
Okay, so woke for me would be on a little different.
Right.
I am immigrant kid.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Not white. Person of color. So my woke for me would just be different because of.
You have to understand who you are intersects with culture today. And so
what you bring.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And
so you wouldn't necessarily have expectations of me to live up to, what your expectations are, because it's...
I don't know if it's like that, because if I did that, then I'd be the opposite of woke, because then I'd be downplaying who you are because you're a person of color.
Okay, I see.
For me, it's more so, woke is all about yourself. Woke is really understanding who you are and how, what you can do. So for me, I'm aware and sensitive to the fact that, especially in Christian, we could just talk about our line of work. Most pastors are white men.
Most.
And so for me, I intentionally seek out developing young leaders that want to be pastors of a diverse spectrum. So does that mean I say no to white men or white young men in my ministry that want to be pastors?
No.
But I also intentionally seek to empower and engage the young women and people of color in my ministry in that way, just simply telling them that they have an option to do this,
right.
That they can do this, that they should do this,
right.
If they want to. And it's that's for me specifically in my job with who I am. That's how I would say I'm woke in that area, is that I intentionally pursue that.
So I shouldn't. Well, I don't go around saying that I'm woke.
Right.
I don't.
You don't need to, because you are.
But So, how should I think about when people say it about themselves?
When people say it about themselves,
because I want to have that.
I generally just let those
perspective.
I just let those people go.
Okay.
When people walk around and be like, I'm woke. I did the march. That's awesome. Do the march. I did the march too.
Right.
But I didn't walk around telling everyone I was woke after I did it, because I didn't need their affirmation of it. Okay. I just simply let my actions live that out. You know. And so if someone says I'm woke, we'd be like, all right, cool, man. What are you doing to understand and engage with culture based off of who you are? If you ask them that question, they'll be like, I post on my social media. It's cool, but what are you actually doing?
Yeah.
And so, disclaimer: posting on your social media, doing marches, doing all these things are phenomenal. Do those things, but also do something on top of that in your specifically who you are. Okay. That's woke.
All right.
We're at that time. Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll get back to more words.
And if you have any words that you have heard or that you've seen that you don't understand,
Yeah.
Like, let us know about it, and we'll let you know about it.
Yes, send us your ideas, things that you want us to talk about.
Email.
Yeah, email.
millenniallessons@gmail.com.
Yeah, or slide in those DMs. Follow us on Instagram, @millenniallessons. We respond. We have a couple episodes on the docket that are fan requests.
Yes.
So,
till next time.
Peace.
Peace.